new Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And this is my review of Big Finish in the year 2021. Not a great year. Better than 2020. 2020 is when the wheels really came off the wagon. It was like, everything kind of fell apart. This is a year where we saw things generally disintegrate completely and them start to rebuild as well. There are some really good releases, mostly not, but it was a recovery year, right? This is a year, I think, when they turn the ship around, which takes a long time. Next year looks a lot more optimistic, right? I'm going to put out another video. It's probably coming out on Saturday. Preview of Doctor Who in 2022, which will be, we're going to look at all the Big Finish releases they have coming up, because that's really the main thing, I think, that Big Finish that we have going in Doctor Who. I mean, we're all treading water until Jodie Whittaker leaves. I mean, like, can we help you pack? That'd be wonderful. That'd be absolutely wonderful. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are fan-dabby. Double dozy. I am insanely appreciative of everybody doing that. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Sign up to my Substack. It's in the video notes, right? Substack, freaking awesome. I think, I'm not sure when this video is going out. If it's going out on Friday, I think we're also starting a regular comic strips on the Substack as well. So we got a regular one-page strip in a very Doctor Who-y fashion called Ice Warriors. If I have time, I didn't color the original run of it. If I have time, I will, right? I think I would like to make it like consistent. So that might be where we're starting. But I've got this really great little 5-page superhero story, which is it's standalone, but it's also kind of like a pile of something else. So anyway, sign up to my Substack. It's free. It's free. Okay, I'm planning on doing a paid version but I haven't started plugging it yet. But once I start plugging it and we do it, it's going to be 50 pages of, I think, great comics every month for your reading delight and pleasure. So there you go. I tried to make it $3, but they wouldn't do it, right? They have to be fine. So like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up to Substack, and if you're watching on Rumble, hit the Rumble button, baby. I don't know where it is, but I think it's a good thing. Hit the Rumble button and subscribe. Subscribe there as well, comment, all those things. Everything I just said on YouTube, also do it on Rumble, right? And that's not, if you're trying to help me out, you don't have to, right? It's like, I really appreciate it, but don't feel obligated. If you're only watching on YouTube, don't go to Rumble to watch it as well. But you can if you want. Fine, let's look at Big Finish in 2021. So we start over here with January. So we'll get to the Tom Baker release in a minute. Masterful. Probably the best release of the year, right? I think probably one of the best releases. I absolutely love this. So if you're thinking of getting it, get the, $50. A bit much, isn't it? That's a bit much. Oh, boy. If you're planning on getting it, I will get the limited edition because it has a ton more in it. First, okay, you get Masterful, which I think is 3 discs long. Essentially the 5 Doctors with the Master, but it doesn't really work because the Masters all try and kill each other. Because it's the Master, right? That's what the Master does. But it's great hearing them all bounce off each other. I do enjoy the who's in it? I watched it last night. The Eric Roberts Master, he's really good in it. John Sin is the worst, is the least efficient of all the Masters. He's basically bonkers. And Derek Jacobi is the most efficient of the Masters. You got Michelle Gomez, Mark Gatiss as an alternate universe Master. You also got, what's his guy? The guy from, who was it? In-Betweeners? I can't remember what is it. But he's been a Master a few times. John Culture does Ainley in a really, really good way. They get rid of James Dreyfus because idiot politics, and they replace him with a kid. Whatever. It's still a good working story. Now the reason to get the limited edition is because you also get this other thing called Terror of the Master, which is a book on tape, 3-disc book on tape with John Culture reading. Fantastic. Just fantastic. It was one of my favorite things from 2021. I mean, they really started strong with this. Plus, you get another couple of short trips, which I already had. It's a very good package. It's a very good package, and the whole thing is pretty high quality. It's fun hearing all the Masters bounce off each other. I didn't get over the Bernie Sunrail audio books, but those books were quite good. So here, then we have Colony of Fear. Oh, God, can the main range just die, okay? Can it just end and die? Because it's awful, right? At this point, it is such an embarrassment what they did to that main range. They could have had a really strong ending. They could have had like Charlotte Pollard like connect all the stories as she goes back through the timeline. You go through the greatest hits of the main range. You could have the Galilei clutch, which I really like. There's a lot of great, bring back Robert Jezek as Frobisher. See if you can get Rob Shearman to write a script. Like they could have really celebrated the range, which was a freaking awesome range. Instead, they just let it turn to crap and do lots of finger wagging. So this story is about the second Doctor screwing up and the sixth Doctor fixing it, of finding the dealing with the aftermath of it. They're all crap. Everything in the main range, garbage. So then we got the first two Doctor sets. They instead of doing 2-part stories, they're now doing 4-part stories. World Traders is okay. It's a kind of a Douglas Adams-y, frothy comedy about profiteering. And I liked it. I thought it was a pretty strong episode. I thought it was good. So Day of the Comet was also quite good. Very, very different feel to it, right? But again, John Coleshaw. John Coleshaw is the thing that brings this together. Without him, it wouldn't have been good. He lost me with River Song. I haven't listened to Series 7 yet, so I didn't buy Series 8. I did buy Series 9 because they realized what people wanted. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That being the case, that's what I want. So, Time War I'm out of as well. I mean, even though I do like the casting of, what's his name? Richard Armitage as Omega. I thought that was good casting. But I just can't pay $30 to hear Lala Ward huff and sigh at me relentlessly. It's like, and listen, that would have been good if she was like, 22 and in bed and naked, right? That I wouldn't mind the huffing and sighing then. I would pay $30 for that. Okay, I'll go for $30. On audio though, not so much. The main range remains an embarrassment. The Blazing Hour. Oh look, there's a black woman with blue hair. What a shock. Who didn't see that coming? 2 more Tom Baker tells. The Tribulation of Thaddeus. No, this was a more comedic one. Neither of these ones for this month were as good as the previous month. And Primeval Design, I remember being a bit like feminist, like saying, "Oh, how terrible women are treated." No. Space 1999, love it. Absolutely love it. This is a great reign. Again, it's very, very liberal progressive whenever they can be. There's somebody who gets killed in the first episode. Obviously, it's her lesbian lover wife dealing with it, not her husband. It's just like all this stuff all the time. Maria Teresa Casey takes over from what's her name? Barbara Bain. And goes completely the opposite direction. Instead of being emotionless, she shouts wildly, angrily all the time. I think that's what people think strong women are. I don't know. I don't really understand. The more you raise a voice, the less strong you are. That's really the truth. Mark Bonner's excellent as Commander Koenig. This feels so authentically Space 1999. Love it. I really, really, really love this release. It's and I'm pre-ordered this year's one. Lucifer Genesis. These books and tapes go on too long. Stranded, where I said goodbye to the 8th Doctor adventures. Listen, I understand it's really important for you that you believe men and women are interchangeable and penises can be feminine and vaginas can be masculine. I understand it's really important for you to believe that's your religion. And fine, I'm not going to tell you your religion is bizarre bullcrap. But it's bizarre bullcrap. I know, like, why is everything preaching to me, which this release is? It's all about Tanya, Rebecca Root, all about it's pivotal about her. And she's having a relationship with Livchenko, the Doctor's companion, who is now out of the blue a trans lesbian as well. So okay. I'm like, I mean, honestly, I bought every release of the 8th Doctor since Storm Warning. Finally, I'm out. And the end of the beginning, I can't even remember it other than saying, thank God it's over. Aim range, thank God it's over. What an embarrassing way to go out. Return of the Cybermen, skip it. It's a Imagine Return of the Cybermen without Robert Holmes script editing it, and that's exactly what you. So it feels like a second Doctor story. And a reasonably mediocre one at that. I don't think Sadie Miller was very good in this release as Sarah Jane. Didn't convince me at all. Doomsday Contract's worth your time, though. It's this one was originally written by comedy legend John Lloyd for Douglas Adams. It's fun. This one's a really fun one. It's a little bit redundant with the other two fun ones that came out in the last couple of months, but it's a good one. Torchwood, I'm out of for a while. Master, again, Eric Roberts' Master. The only thing that recommends this is Eric Roberts dripping his way through it with a wonderful performance. And more of that. The story is basically just generic to gives Eric Roberts something to do. Chase Masterson's in it. A Dalek is in it, but generally speaking, skippable. Lotus Centurion, couldn't really be bothered. Yeah, no, it's like 3 mediocre stories for $20. No, I'll give that a miss. So here we have a bit of Dalek Universe that actually was very different from the rest of the Dalek Universe for many reasons. One, it had Tom Baker instead of David Tennant. But the biggest difference is it had Daleks in it, and it was quite good. So, you know, this Dalek Universe, the Dalek Protocol, not bad at all. Not bad at all. It ties into the bigger Dalek Universe with David Tennant, which I was so excited for and so disappointed by at the same time. So, you've heard my reviews of this. I tend to think that if something is called Dalek Universe, then maybe it should have Daleks in. And this one doesn't. It has Jane Slavin as Anya Kingdom, who she's been in with Tom Baker in releases. That was a great season. She was great. I like the character. I didn't really like Mark 7. I thought he was a little bit too robotic, which doesn't really, given he's a robot, that's not so bad. Mark Gatiss completely wasted in a pointless role. But this whole set, its big deal is it's introducing a female version of the meddling monk, the meddling nun, played by Gemma Whelan, who's not very good. That's the bottom line. He's not very good as the monk. What's his name? Who normally plays him? Rufus Hound. Very good. Very, very good. Graham Garden. Very good. Not very good. So this was just... and also they had at the end of the first episode, David Tennant regenerates into Gemma Whelan, and it's all a plot. I'm spoiling it because it doesn't matter. Don't bother. It's a real disappointment, right? A real major disappointment. This was the best of the Time Lord Victorious. It was 2 half-hour stories. One with Paul McGann at the beginning of the Time Lord Victorious narrative, and one with David Tennant at the end of the Time Lord Victorious narrative. Best bit. This and one of the Master short trips was the best things. Again, Torchwood, I'm out. Oh, this was really very disappointing. The First Doctor Adventures, Volume 5. It was dull. Actually, it was just kind of dull. And it's like, again, I think it's quality has really, really, really slipped this year over last year. Because when you recruit from a small part of your talent pool, you end up getting lower quality. That's just what happens. There's no way around it. That's just what happens. And it was very important to them. They recruited women to write, and mostly they become mediocre. I don't think there's anybody else say was a standout star, right? And I don't say, why don't you get in touch with Kate Orman, right? She was an awesome writer. I haven't seen anything she's written in years, but she was fantastic, especially at Blake 7 stuff. It was painfully good. It was so great. Who was it? Okay, there's a few female. Jacqueline Rayner. I mean, there's so many. Like, but I don't know. I don't know. This wasn't good. So, and the Avengers comic strips never really worked for me. I didn't like whoever it is they got to play Mrs. Pill. So yeah, and Julian Whalen was just good enough, right? Just good enough. So I didn't bother with the Iris Wild Times and Friends books on tape. Not really that interested. Oh, this is Month of Ravagers came out. Right. This is... Oh, Ravagers, not the... this is the Ninth Doctor adventure. By far the best one, right? If you're going to get one box set, this is the one to get. It's 3 interlinked stories, so it's a story with more depth and weight to it. Exxon is fantastic. It's a Nick Briggs script and it unifies... none of the other 2 box sets haven't even touched this, even though they had one very good story on the 3rd one, right? But yeah, absolutely excellent. See, this is the new direction. See, when they're not pissing around with like the rights of man and or like shouting at us their insane religion and just doing Doctor Who. We love stories. Remember that? It should be we love preaching, but it should we love stories. Excellent. So that was the new Big Finish, I think, going forward. And this is the last scarf of the old Big Finish. We have Daisy Ashford and Sadie Miller. Daisy Ashford as Liz Shaw and Sadie Miller as Sarah Jane Smith. This goes back to it fails at the poor sexual politics that they shoehorn into everything in this era of Big Finish. Again, I think it's finishing now. I think it's over because people are saying, I don't want to buy it. I've had enough, right? I've had enough. So the first story is marred. It's a great story, and it's really spoiled. The Unzol inclusion. It's when so the Doctor and the Brigadier have to go on the run after, and it's the great idea. I love that, and they're being chased by UNIT, right? But they bring in this new female sergeant. Why don't use Benton? Like, it would have been awesome, Benton going after the Brigadier, and it just it was sort of stood out like a sore thumb. Also standing like a sore thumb is the second one, the Gulf, which the Doctor and Sarah Jane end up on this in this water world on the platform which only has women in it, and I'm like, enough. And I think this is the one with Wendy Craig in it. Yeah, Wendy Craig's in this, and she's good. She's very good in this. Nick Briggs is on it saying how terrible it was in the 70s. She had to have a pseudonym to get her work published on TV. I agree with you. I completely agree. Why do you have to make crap Doctor Who because of that? How does one solve for the other? It doesn't, right? Bottom line, it doesn't. Avalon, listen, I like this new Worlds of Blake 7 thing they're doing. The problem with this is Avalon has no character whatsoever, right? This is carried on by Sally Kinviet and Stephen Grief. They move this set forward. There's a couple of very good stories in this, but she is dull as ditchwater, and it's a real shame because there was nothing about her on TV. You could have built a brilliant backstory from this character, right? And they just didn't because she's a woman and stunning and brave. The new Thunderbirds range I was very disappointed with because it's adaptations of books made for 5-year-olds in the 60s, and so that's the sort of level they're aiming at. And look, well, the stories were good, the voices were good, it wasn't really that great, right? The word cash grab is used often, right? Used very, very often. Anything you see with David Tennant's face on the cover might be called a cash grab. So we go Out of Time 2, Gates of Hell. This is the 10th Doctor meeting the 5th Doctor. Not a patch on the first one. The first one with Tom Baker was great. This is a Sideman story taking place at the in the catacombs of Paris. Kind of thing. It was forgettable, in my opinion. So there wasn't really any point in putting them together. Robots, I cancelled this because I couldn't stand the first 3 ones, and I got the Thunderbirds release on it instead. That didn't work out well. First Action Bureau Series 1. There's not going to be a Series 2. They put it out for free on YouTube, and nobody cared. Volume 2 of Avalon, again, carried through by Colin Baker and Stephen Grief. Avalon itself, dull as ditchwater. This is, again, new Big Finish. Excellent. Freaking excellent. War Doctor begins. Fantastic. Jonathan Carey, Carly as the War Doctor is seamless. To me, it sounds like I'm listening to John Hurt. I feel like I'm listening to John Hurt stories, and there's no lecturing in this at all because they're shit scared that you're not going to buy it because it doesn't have a recognizable actor in it, and it's fan-freaking-tastic, right? It's actually great. I think most credit for this has to go to Louise Jameson, who is the director of the set. She basically workshopped how with Jonathan Carley how to act as a Doctor, how to do it. She taught him how to act. She's such a great actress, right? And she's such an incredible communicator. She's so very, very, very clever. It all shines through in these releases. This is new Big Finish, right? This actually kind of interests me. The Tracy Ann Oberman, 5 people you kill in Middlesbrough. I like Tracy Ann Oberman. But I said I'm just out Torchwood. This was a disappointment. Jacob and Lightfoot Series 14. They did a series of books and tapes. Haven't listened to them yet. Too long. It's like 8 discs long. Goes on forever. I just don't have time. They should have done these as a series of graphic novels. Like, each episode should have been a series of graphic novels. And I think they probably would have done quite well. They could have crowdfunded them. They could have partnered with Cutaway Comics to do them. I think it would have been very successful. I think they made a big mistake, right, with this. Because Jago Lightfoot, pretty much done now, I'm afraid. Box of Delights has zero interest in this. Maybe they brought it out in November instead of bloody June. The trailer's garbage. It just has nothing in it that interests me whatsoever, right? What does interest... We'll be up to July. What did interest me is this new range based on the strength of Terror of the Master. In January, I bought this first one. It's a little bit too long. These are, 5, 6 discs long. They should be 2 or 3, right? And then 3 is your sweet spot. John Coulter again. Great story, great Cyberman story, and his Sarah Jane slightly better than Sadie Miller's, right? He should train Sarah Jane how to Sadie Miller how to do Sarah Jane. So here we see that the damage that Big Finish has done with its constant lecturing wokeness. Cicero, I didn't bother getting, leave me alone. Lady Christina, also, we see the same thing over and over again. The female characters on Big Finish this year have been really two-dimensional and bland. They've just been stunning and brave, kick-ass, bounty hunters and assassins from the future. Enough already. I don't want to tell you. Enough already. And they're all lesbians. And honestly, I don't mind. Listen, if I'm going to see Michelle Ryan be a lesbian, I'm normally would be pretty up for that, quite frankly. But that's how bored I am of it, right? That's how bored I am of it. Not quite as bored as I was of Dalek Universe 2. Still no Daleks. Still featuring no Daleks. More boring twaddle with the Space Security Service. If they just called it Space Security Service, I'll be less pissed off at it. So they have fake Daleks in this, which seem very, very fake. And then this was supposed to be released with another story, and it continues an ongoing narrative. There's too far in between. I can't even remember what's going on. I'll give it a re-listen. I like Richard Earl's Watson and Nicholas Briggs Holmes. Reasonably skippable, as I recall. Reasonably skippable. But also, like, if they did more of these, I think it would work. But they don't. So this is I think it's a book on tape of a Jerry Anderson script they made around Star Wars. Oh no, I think it's a full castle audio drama. Zero interest, less than zero interest. As also with the book on tape, the Polima Project, all the books on tape basically they're all just too long for me. I'd rather read a book, or I'd rather read listen to Dr. Alex's book on tape, which I really have enjoyed, which is also free. That also helps. And then more Torchwood that has nothing to do with no recognizable connection to Torchwood whatsoever. Okay, so we're at the last gasp of the crap. The Master Killing Time again got hit by the Big Finish 2021 sexual politics insanity. It's all about the Master. He arrives at this time-traveling place to make a deal with them for the Time Lords Alliance, and he's always outmaneuvered by a stunning and brave black woman who's more stunning than brave than he is. And then he goes in, picks up Joe Grant and Nyssa, right, and basically tortures them from an episode each, right? Quite horrible psychological torture. I'm not really up for it at all. So that was really charming. And then he comes back and he beats the stunning and brave black woman because he's a villain. Blake 7 Classic Adventures. If you haven't gotten them, this is a strong recommend. $25 for this. It's really worth it. I think it's worth it. The Ninth Doctor returns with respond to all calls. No, thank you. This is definitely the weakest one of the set. 3 throwaway stories that I'm not really interested in. It's nice hearing Eccleston again. So I didn't get this after the Daleks because it seemed to be that it was written around the 2019 general election where Labour got its ass handed to them because, may I remind you once again, they fielded a massive racist and anti-Semite with anti-Semitic racist policies that would also bankrupt the country. And they were surprised they had their asses handed to them. So there was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth. This is what this is like. This is a repudiation of the electoral process. This is like, we're mad at you. And I thought that's what it would be. So I got the first 3 episodes, and that's exactly what it is. Like the Dalek says, this guy comes on and says, no, I did everything. It wasn't Ian Chesterton. He forces the Dalek to say he is. So I'm glad I skipped this. I did get Secrets of Death's End. It was a prequel to The Abominable Snowman and Web of Fear. And this was just after Web of Fear came out on Blu-ray DVD, which I love. Freaking love that. That was a great, great, great episode. I really should have added in the videos that came out this year. Maybe after we finish going through this, we'll have a quick look at Amazon. We'll go through that. So it's reasonably skippable. Not a bad story. I like Peter Purvis's First Doctor. So this is another one that Philip Hinch presents, where if what would he do if he still made Doctor Who with Tom Baker and Louise Jameson? Make boring Doctor Who. As it turned out, I wasn't that interested. It was a real slog. That's a hard miss. Operation Ice Cap sounded pretty fun, but again, I'm out of love with Big Finish because they had to keep telling me about their insane religion. Listen, I have my own religious beliefs. I don't insist on shoving them down your bloody throat, right? I'll tell you what I think, but I don't insist on it. So here we see new Big Finish floundering because it's still doing the same stupid things as old Big Finish. So Doctor Who the 11, I didn't get this set because I thought, I bet Colin Baker's hardly in this. I bet this is going to be exactly the same as the Eric Roberts Master set, where you're going to have a stunning and brave kick-ass lesbian bounty hunter assassin. Yes, everything happened. Colin Baker's not in the second episode. I like Mark Bonner. I like the 11. It just seemed more of the same bollocks. So I'm saying no. So this Fifth Doctor box set is them saying goodbye to old Big Finish, finishing up the Mark cycle started in the monthly range. They put Daleks on it just so they could sell it because nobody's going to buy this bollocks because no one's interested in Mark, and thank God it's over. I'm never going back. More Torchwood, nothing to do with Torchwood. And once again, Big Finish shooting itself in the foot. I got the first volume of the 11th Doctor Chronicles. This is 3 dire stories by people who are not very good, who are employed because they're women, mostly, right? With all the same boring tropes. So you remember how much I didn't like Gemma Whelan's meddling nun? So they said, "Oh yeah, let's make her front and center of the next Missy box set." Bye. Goodbye. Yeah, no, and honestly, I like Missy and Rufus Hound, and that was really good. But no, I don't like Gemma Whelan. I don't like it. Yes, I understand. You want to race and gender swap everything. I understand that. That's your crazy religion. I'm not buying it, and I think they got the bloody message. Clone Masters, I really liked. Okay, I really like. This is a strong recommend. Jan Chappell and Sally Convet, both Travises, love this. Absolutely love this one. I think it's one of the strongest releases of the year. So far, my top releases would be Masterful, Space 1999, and Clone Masters. Right, and it's not been a good year for Doctor Who, has it? No. And I was so excited about Dalek Empire. What are we up to? October. There we go. These Doctor Who things weren't bad. These Robin Hood things weren't bad. Not really for me. Dalek Universe, finally, they bring Daleks into it as they wrap up the story I'm just so pissed off by this point. I was like, whatever. River Songs in it being a little bit smug. 8th Doctor Adventures, they got the bloody message, apparently. They got the bloody message. 2 good stories. That's all it is. 2 good stories: Conspiracy in Space and a Devil's Hoof Prints. Like both of these, right? I absolutely, this back on form, telling us good stories without preaching relentlessly. Torchwood, I'm out, but this release was put out instead of the one with John Barrowman. This was surprisingly good. Diary River Song, New Recruit. She lands in 1970s unit. Teams up with Daisy Ashford's Liz Shaw. The Doctor's Way. John Culture's in it. Love this one. A lot of fun. I thought it's a surprisingly good blending of the two of the two eras. For me, it worked. Like, it tickled me. Right. So that's a recommend. One of the biggest embarrassment of the year. Time Jacked, right? Absolutely one of the biggest embarrassment of the year. Jake Dubman being recast as the 12th Doctor. Look, the first volume wasn't bad when Jake Dubman was the narrator, not the Doctor. But also, look, it's got a stunning and brave, not white woman with a gun on the cover. Oh, bye, goodbye. Yeah, no, not buying it. I'm glad I didn't buy it. The reviews I read it's garbage. Doctor's Daughter, yeah, David Tennant recorded a lot of stuff in lockdown. He also got Georgia Tennant do one. Not interested at all, right? Unit Nemesis, I haven't listened to this. I got this one because I wanted to give it a go, and it's just not engaging me, but I really got to give it a try. I'll get to it eventually, but again, it hasn't really tickled me at all. Torchwood with nothing about Torchwood in it. So, 3rd volume, we had the Cyberman story. Freaking awesome. One of the best Cyberman stories I've ever heard. It's not very Cyberman-y, right? It's set around the making of Fritz Lang's Metropolis, and I just enjoyed it, right? The other 2 stories, forgettable, mediocre. You haven't won me back with To Ghosts of Survivors because everything you've been doing has been garbage, right? And Peru Peru, it's the same, juvenile book, right? So I'm not really into it now. We're up to December. So I haven't even listened to the Year of Martha Jones excerpt, but the review I read was, oh, how timely, a black woman trying to get people to listen to her about how bad the world is. Bye! Goodbye! And listen, you put Marina Sirtis on the cover, it says, oh, I hate anybody who's not insanely left-wing. And okay, fine. You don't need my money. Bye. And the story didn't really interest me that much. Stranded 3, haven't listened to you. Don't give a toss. Oh, look, you put Jadoon on the cover. Not buying it. And I think that's why the only reason you put Jadoon on the cover is because no one was really that interested in it. This has killed the 8th Doctor range, in my opinion. This was a good release. This was a good release. War Doctor Begins wasn't as good as the first one. Has a lot of the Big Finish tropes of stunning and brave, super powerful women who can do anything, right? They're the bestest ever. In fact, in this release, they have 2 Time Lord commanders who are identical. That they're Venklin and Tamazan. They're the same character. It's all the same cardboard character. Having said that, Louise Jameson's direction makes everything work because Louise Jameson is great. Martha Jones pissed off. Oh, so this one I haven't listened to yet, but it's going to be awesome, right? New Big Finish. Babe and the Butcher. Cannot wait. It's on my... This is why I'm not listening to Unit Nemesis, right? I'm listening to Babe and the Butcher. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. And I haven't listened to this. What's it called again? The free short trip, the Paul Spragg one. So yeah, let's go and look at Amazon.co.uk. What came out this year? We had Galaxy 4. We'll do a search. Doctor Who Blu-ray. Doctor Who Blu-ray. Let's have a look what came out. My season 17 still isn't here. That's killing me. That was a great release this year. Yeah, sort by newest arrivals. Right. Bombnell Snowman, that'll be next year. Flux Piss Off. Season 27. Well, no, that came out a while ago. Fine. So they got the season 17. These Blu-ray collections are wonderful. They are absolutely wonderful. I mean, just absolutely fantastic in every way. Strong recommends. I can't wait for mine to arrive. It's not just the upgrading, the upscaling of the picture. The extras on them are fantastic. Galaxy 4 isn't great. It's better actually in color and black and white. I never really look at it in black and white. It's around the same level. It's slightly better than this Star Trek animation from the 70s. So this was standard collection. This is coming out. Evil of the Daleks came out this year and was glorious, right? Best of the reconstructions by far. Really, really, really love this. I'm so sad they're not doing was it the Abominable Snowman? Then we had the season 24. I'm so glad I revisited season 24, right? So it was a lot of fun. But how's that? No, I said Blu-ray, not Scarf. And what else came out this year? I think that's basically Web of Fear was this year. Also great. Oh man, the episode they put in it though was terrible. Watch the Telesnap reconstruction. Season 24 that came out this year. Awesome beyond awesome. I was so glad I revisited that season. I think that's it for this year, isn't it? Yeah, Revolution of the Dalek. Yeah. Now we got a bunch of German. Fine. So that's 2021. Okay, the 2021 year in review. I'm looking forward to 2022. I think 2022 is going to be much better than 2021. Firstly, we only have 2 episodes of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. I mean, if you don't count the New Year's episode, which after tomorrow, no one's going to count it. It's gone. But I think good times are coming. I do. I think good times are coming. I am excited about Russell T Davies. It might not what people want, it might not what people expect, but I'm still excited about Russell T Davies as Doctor Who, and I will continue to be until I see it. And if it's garbage, I'll tell you I think it's garbage. If I think it's good, I'll tell you I think it's good. Generally speaking, I like when people doing something new and different and interesting, but I think you just got to remember, when you do something new, different and interesting, you've also got to do something that is the thing you're trying to do, right? Which I think Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who has very much forgot, right? Has very, very, very much forgot. Fine! My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Like, share, subscribe, Substack, Rumble, and have yourself, this is an important one, have yourselves a freaking awesome new year!